What's welcome back to another Paul Massive video. So we got the legendary gauntlet tonight. I know, I hear the I hear the applauses right now. No, but so this time the gauntlet's going to be Latios, Regirock, and I think Tornadus, right? So let's talk about them a bit, right? Just in terms of what stuff you probably want to prepare so you don't get absolutely wiped, you know, 2 battles in, right? Anyways, let's start with Latios. Latios is pretty much the easiest one of the bunch. Probably, arguably, one of the easiest legendary arenas overall, right? It's like Latios, maybe Tapu Bulu's probably in there as well, right? Latios is very, very easy. This guy is nothing, basically. The gimmicks that, you know, it has are not very serious gimmicks, right? The main thing Latios has is it's 3v3 instead of 3v1, right? There's 3 opponents instead of 1 opponent. It doesn't matter. they don't really make the game harder. They don't make the battle, you know, more whatever, right? More unbeatable. It's just that if you don't KO the 2 sides before you take out the first bar, they start using some pretty powerful AoE moves. So just KO them before you KO the first bar then. It's very, very simple. Very, very simple. And dude, it's not even like a bad thing to do that. It's in multiple ways a good thing, right? Because of the fact that if you take your time to take out the first bar, which in this case means taking out the sides first, right? If you take your time taking out the first bar of Latios itself hits relatively weak, right? So you have ample, you know, you just get extra turns to build up your team's like strength, whether it's setups or more sync buffs or whatever, right? This guy's a complete pushover, right? Overall, so I would not really be looking to save units for Latios, right? When you're looking at which units to save, right? Especially, you know, some more powerful supports and stuff. It's just gonna be save. I don't know, just save your like ice type damage deals and dragon type damage deals for Latios, because that's the only thing, right? The first 2 bars are weak to dragons. 3rd bar is weak to ice, right? Just bring some dragon type, ice type damage dealers. Make sure they're functional with functional teams, and then you're good, right? So yeah, the second gauge, you do have a slightly annoying thing where it uses AoE moves to debuff your defense and special defense, but he doesn't hit that hard. So don't care. Like until the 3rd bar, right? 3rd bar, you do have a few, you know, double-edged stored power that hit relatively hard, right? Obviously not if it doesn't have any buffs or stored power, but it's relatively hard at 3rd bar. But by the 3rd bar, your team would have probably built up enough sync buffs just to like blast through the opponents, right? So it's really, really not that hard, right? Really not that hard. There's not too much to really talk about here. There's a sure crit on the 2nd bar at 50% HP. 1st bar's 50% HP is a joke. It uses telekinesis on you, which, okay, you can't dodge its moves, I guess. It's not that. There's like a few slightly low accuracy moves, but it's not like they're that big of a deal, right? So, yeah, and then the last bar at 50% HP gets another, you know, crit next, surf, which is guaranteed crit AoE, which, yeah, that's the only other thing to look out for. There's nothing to worry about this guy, right? There's plenty, I say, of dragon type units, right, that you could realistically bring in there. Again, not just dragon types. Oh, what's that update? I don't know. Not just dragon types, but also, you know, ice types as well, right? Damage dealers, right? So there's just so many. Let's not deal, yeah, right? Like, oh my god, bro. Champion Iris obviously very, very good here. Zarina's gonna destroy it. This guy's gonna destroy it. She's gonna destroy it. He's gonna destroy it. At least about last bar. First few bars would probably destroy them as well. Nessa probably, maybe. Hala, you could use him. This guy, you could use him, right? This guy's free, you could use him. Really, really good. This guy, you could, you know, some really, really nice nukes, max moves thrown in there. This guy's Hyper Beam, obviously very, very consistent damage. So, yeah, this guy gets us, throw him in there, right? Even some other units that aren't dragon type, that have like dragon type moves, you could do them as well. Illusamine with Blizzard, right? A lot of those options. Yeah, this is not a threat. Latios is that one stage that you get to coast, you get to chill, relax, and feel good about yourself as you watch Latios suffer. All right, so the other two are the not fun ones. Regirock, probably one of the top 3 hardest legendary arena opponents, in my personal opinion, right? So, Regirock's really, really annoying. This guy's really, really annoying. If you don't play him well, you will get stuck, and he will crush you, basically. So, basics, first bar is weak to grass, second 2 bars weak to steel, right? So there are a few things you have to look out for. Iron defense you have to look out for. If you're wondering, well, who cares about iron defense? Just, you know, crit or whatever, debuffs, who cares? No, this is very, 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 very annoying for multiple reasons, right? So when it uses iron defense, right, not only does it buffs its own defenses, it also, you know, sets up crit shields later on, right? Which is super, super, super annoying, right? You can't crit him, and if you can't crit him, like, the one debuff it has, and you can't really, you know, debuff it yourself, but the one debuff it has built into itself, which is every time you hit him with a crit, its defenses get debuffed, right? But the thing is, again, iron defense sets up a crit shield, so you can't crit it, so then you can't debuff it, and not that not debuffing is the end of the world, but the issue is, if he has high defensive buffs and he has a crit shield, you can't crit through all those defensive buffs. That's going to drastically lower your damage output, first of all, right? And it's not like this guy's a slouch on the offensive side either. This guy does a lot of damage on the offensive side. This guy's obviously Stone Edge, very, very powerful. Drain Punch, very, very powerful, right? You got Hyper Beam in the 3rd bar. That will blast you, you know, back to the Mesozoic era, right? Very, very, very powerful moves. This guy's just a menace to deal with. Very, very, very annoying. Very annoying. Yeah, so just be careful about this guy, right? It's, again, especially when he gets that crit shield up. So try to beat it before the crit shield comes up. It's kind of hard to do. Or just survive through it, maybe. Right, so yeah, the main ability shrug off, it can't be debuffed. Alright, but if you crit it, debuffs its defense. So yeah, it's just tough, man. It's just very, very, very tough, I'd say. There's not too many ways that you go around. Obviously there are the ones that, you know, that could go around the you know, field effects. Obviously you take that away, right? Because it is a crit shield, right? So you could definitely remove that with field effect removers. So that's definitely one option, right? There are also multiple other options that you go for. Like, you know, the 2 defog units, Lycia or the Rock. You could do that if you want. By the way, if you're thinking, oh, I'll just cheese it with any N, right? Piercing blows go through the crit protection, right? Wrong. No, it doesn't. Because of the fact that the crit shield is a field effect rather than a passive. If you look at Piercing Blow's description, ignores passive skills that reduce damage of attacks, ignores passive skills that would protect the target against a crit. So it doesn't work, right? Because again, crit shield is a field effect rather than a passive, right? This is like Yu-Gi-Oh levels of detail. Okay, almost. Well, maybe. Same thing with guys like Solgaleo, right? Ignores passives, right? It's not field effects. So yeah, either you power through, you know, its HP bar so it doesn't get to use the iron defenses, or you just, you know, delay it as much as possible and you slowly, more slowly, I guess, chip away at its HP, whether it's through things to mobilize it, right, like flinch or whatever, right? That could maybe help a bit, right? So as for the damage healers, I mean, grass type, steel type also do have a decent pool of units, right, for the most part, right? You have obviously for free units, you've got Solgaleo, which is nice. You got Hop could do some damage even as a support, right? For grass types, you got Gardenia's very, very powerful, obviously. And yeah, as for some other options, Raihan, Gloria should be fine. Marnie obviously should destroy it. Same thing with Grimsley over here. Steven's really, really nice there as well. Probably. And yeah, the new Nidoking. All right, Iron Tail Nidoking should be solid. And then grass types, again, the grass is only the first HP bar, right? So it's probably not going to be as effective as Steel, I'd say, right? Because I do think next to are a bit more intimidating, right? But I mean, if you want to run grass types for that as well, it should be fine against stuff like Brendan, SS Erica, multiple other units that have grass type as like a secondary damage dealing type. So anyways, that is Regirock, right? Again, very, very, very annoying to deal with, right? Not just the crit shield, not just the defenses, but also this guy has some really, really powerful new moves that he could throw at you. He hits pretty hard, right? Pretty hard. So, last one being Tornadus. Tornadus isn't as bad as Regirock in terms of like beating it, but Tornadus does require you to bring certain units, right? The big one being units that could, well, paralyze it, right? Because that's the main gimmick of Tornadus. You kind of want to paralyze this guy. On the bright side, this guy is fully just electric weak, right? Not weak to anything else, just electric. On the downside, there's not that many electric type damage dealers in the game, I guess. It is a solid amount, but or any like crazy good ones. There's a lot of like mediocre electric ones, right? But anyways, so yeah, you want to paralyze this, right? If it doesn't paralyze, it's gonna do really annoying things like set Rain Dance and then give itself Raging Rain 5, right? Which is obviously gonna hit you, much harder. And it's just not good. You don't want that to happen, right? The other thing is it will use Toxic to try to poison you, right? Especially, once it does, get paralyzed or whatever, right? So do make sure you have someone on the team to sort of clear that. That would definitely help, right? Would definitely be helpful as well. And there's also like a huge like damage reduction if they don't get paralyzed as well. So yeah, you gotta make sure you just gotta paralyze this guy, or else it just switches between massive, special, and physical damage reduction, right? So yeah, again, it's not very difficult. It's just you need to bring paralysis units, right? You got to bring units that can paralyze the opponent, and that kind of sucks. This you could definitely cheese with something like a Lunala or Annie N, right, or etc. So there's also that option to keep in mind. But also, again, if you don't paralyze it, it's gonna like offensively, it's gonna be very problematic as well. So it's not just like a defensive thing. So do also keep that in mind if you are planning to use Lunala or Annie N or something, right? There's also that danger, right, as well. So yeah, all this stuff sucks. Also, it does have the chance to cleanse its own paralysis, right? There's 20% chance of curing paralysis or any status condition, I guess, right, after using a move. So that is very, very bad. So yeah, make sure you either have a way to deal with Toxic if you want to paralyze it early on, or have someone who could take enough hits with the Rain Dance boosted moves, right? Raging Rain 5 boosted moves, right, early on. Personally, if you have extra units that could clear the Toxic, you could do that, right? Units like Xerneas are obviously very, very good in that. But if you don't, I'd probably just try to not get Toxic. Because, like, the thing is, Raging Rain moves, they're annoying, but Rain will go away eventually, right? If you don't have a Toxic Cleanser, the Toxic doesn't eventually go away. So I'd say I'd rather take the extra Raging Rain boosted moves rather than getting hit by a Toxic that I'll have to, carry to rest or the end of the battle, right? If you even get to the end of the battle before your team tank gets taken out by the poison. So yeah, those are some, I guess, stuffs you got to look out for with this guy. He does have some pretty powerful moves. Big one being, where is it? They're not mentioning it. Anyways, I guess Fly is it Fly? I don't remember. Fire Blast is definitely one of the really annoying ones. Heat Wave is also pretty annoying as well, right? Being AoE as well. So yeah, those are some stuff that you do have to worry about. And as for options over here, again, you have to look for paralysis units, right? As for free units, you got, you know, Erica, you got Calum. Those are fine, decent, solid units. BP Lieutenant Surge is very, very good for this one as well, right? There's a lot of paralysis units. Whitney could paralyze, right? Sophocles, that's another para unit who also has a nuke as well, right? So you could, you know, use Sophocles in multiple different ways. So yeah, those are some of the units that you could use for paralysis. Obviously, there's a lot of Sumbul units as well. Classic Elisa, you know, one of the better para units in the game. Serena, right? Palatine Serena, really nice paralysis unit as well. Volkner with Thunder Fang. So yeah, and then as for I almost said lightning type. What? Electric type. As for electric type damage deals over here, you have a decent amount of options as well. You have a lot of options. There's only just there's a few that are like really, really good, but generally, I mean, if you have good enough supports, it should be able to carry, right? Obviously, this guy's gonna destroy, right? He should be pretty good here. He also got piercing blows as well, so that's nice. She might struggle a bit later on, but she should be okay. Marnie would destroy, right? She would probably destroy as well, because do keep in mind, people forget that at least Classic Leagues has a legitimate sync nuke. Hao should maybe do fine as well, right? And yeah, it's not that many options, honestly. I guess. But yeah, there's some other non-electric types, like a Mew, right? Thunder Mew, you could do that. You could utilize Thunder Mew. You could do, what was that other one called again? Well, first of all, there are Striker Eggmons that are pretty nice. The Striker Raichu should be a pretty good option if you really are struggling. Thunder Kyogre. Thunder Kyogre is a very, very good one, right? Anyways, whatever. Like, you know, you should be able to relatively reliably off-type it if you do run up electric-type damage dealers, unfortunately. So, we'll see. I mean, you know, as Lisa could throw out some Mad Thunders. But yeah, anyways, that's me with this one, I guess. Hope you all gentlemen guys think in the comments down below. Like, enjoy the videos, subscribe to our channel for some more Bum Master content. We'll be trying some of these live tonight. I'm not going to do too much tonight because I am trying to fix my sleep schedule. And Legendary Gauntlet coming out at 11 p.m. my time does not help. So I'll see you guys there. Have fun, you know, and good luck. I'll see you guys.